In this video, I will describe how to use Tool Launcher, the most useful and also the least known of all the Thor tools. It is the one tool that all users of Thor should know and use. Tool Launcher uses a simple screen that allows you to browse through all the Thor tools by keyword, to read their descriptions, visit their home pages, to set their options, and most importantly, to run them. It also helps you to organize the tools that you use most to make them easily available to you. Thor suffers from an overabundance of tools. There are so many that it may seem impossible to find which tools are of interest and value to you. The Tool Launcher simplifies that search. Tool Launcher is the first item under the Thor menu. The form that comes up shows you a tree view listing of all of the Thor tools. You'll notice that there are some of them that come with a yellow background. These are tools that I've either created for myself or have customized. The list is very long, so to simplify it for you, there is a filter text box from which you can enter words, keywords. For instance, I can enter class, and I might enter a second keyword, second or third, which in this case I'm going to say project. And I found all tools that have to do with both class and project. My recommendation is that you use this filter text box frequently to look for tools using a variety of FoxPro keywords. Class and project and form and object and we could say table, for instance. I'm going to find all tools that have to do with table, and I might want to browse a table. That takes us to Super Browse, which is one of the most commonly used Thor tools. There's actually more information about each tool than is provided in this description here. Many of the tools have a link to a home page, particularly the PEM editor tools and the tools that come directly from VFPX. Some tools have direct options that you can open. In this case, Super Browse has one option available at this moment that lets you determine whether it supports docking or not. And also, some of the tools have plugins. Plugin is a PRG which you save it in the right place, will execute and replace default behavior. And when you click on plugins, in this case it'll show that there's only one that applies to Super Browse. And when it says create here, what actually is going to happen if I were to execute create, it does look like I've created a PRG. I haven't. What I've done is created a PRG which, if you save it with Control W, will replace the native behavior. But in this case, you can find out what the native behavior is, and if you don't want to change it, you can then just escape out of the form, out of the PRG, and you will not have actually changed anything. As handy as Tool Launcher is in helping you find tools in Thor that you may not have known about before, you still don't want to go through the process of using this filter mechanism all the time. So there are a couple of things that you can do. For one thing, you can choose a tool, such as Super Browse, and you can assign a hotkey. I'm going to assign Shift F11. And now if I go someplace else and I press Shift F11, it brings up Super Browse for me. I can also, you'll see that there's a checkbox for favorites here. I can go to favorites. Here's my current list of favorites. If I go back to where I was, to Super Browse, click on favorites, and Super Browse is now in the list. So when I am browsing through here, for instance, if I said parent class, find me anything to do with parent class, I might like redefine parent class. I might like that as a favorite, and compare with parent class. You can come back later and remove the checkboxes if you want, but in any case you'll be building up a list of those items that you think are favorites. You can also create your own custom list, and when you start you'll get this description of what you need to do to create your own custom list, and I will show you briefly what you can do. I can go to the configuration screen. I can go to I have my own pop-up menu which I created earlier, which has these items in it, which I added using this configuration screen. And when I click on the menu, there's an item here called Show in Launcher. Show in the Tool Launcher. And now when I close out of this, and I guess I have to go there, and now that menu shows up in my custom list. Now what happens is, when you reopen the tool launcher, it always comes back to whichever of these three tabs was last active. So actually what I do is I always work off of my custom list, and when I want to work off of add something to the list or find something that I don't use as frequently, I go to the system list. Actually, a little better than that, I will make the form much narrower, so I only see the list of the tools that are in my custom list. And this works the same way, whether it's for favorites or any of the three tabs. And then instead of double clicking, I can single click. So to review here, just briefly, use this tool launcher, as your way to explore all the capabilities and tools of Thor, and to find tools that are there and will help you that you have not discovered before. Use the filter checkbox with all sorts of FoxPro terms, and you'll be surprised to find that there are tools available to help you. One last thing. When you start using this, when you have questions, or if you have comments, or heaven forbid, if you have bug reports, please go to the Thor menu and go to the Thor forum. Go to the Thor forum, send a message saying whatever is on your mind. Let us know what's going on, what you like, what you dislike. If you have any suggestions, please, we'd love to hear from you. Thank you.